I better look good because last time I looked dead ugly. P.S.
Again, that's not the director's fault. Sometimes it's costume and makeup, wardrobe, or sometimes it's just the actor. Waste on trust. Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
Perfect. And recording.
Okay, recording.
3, 2, 1.
Well,
Well,
I've got one thing to say to you. Hands up, Gabriella. Gabriella, hands up, Gabriella, la la.
and this is the last episode of the season.
It really do be. Oh my God, look at us. This is kind of nuts.
I know. I was thinking today when I was taking my shower, I was like,
Oh, you showered?
yeah, because I went to the gym and I worked out. I had a very lovely workout. Thank you very much.
Nice. Your gay gym.
At my very gay gym, yes. No, but I was like taking my shower today, and I was like, damn, it's been like, if we really think about it, it's been over 2 years of PNT because like we've been doing it since like June of
Since-
23.
No, August of 2023. Because it
no,
was
no,
famously...
just like no, but like in general.
Oh, the shows and whatnot. Yes,
Yes.
whatnot. Yeah, you're so right.
Like totally speaking. So
And
I'm like, wait, that's like 2 years of work, and like, wow, look at us.
I mean, look at us, and I will say, well, all things considered, like, I know that you and I, like, were like thinking about like, okay, like how long do we make this season? You know, like, we looking back, you know, we're like, okay, we did it for a full-on year, you know, nonstop. So that felt kind of cuckoo, and then at the same time, I feel like even though we went half the time this go around,
6 months.
It still felt like a lot happened because
so much.
so much happened, and I feel like maybe this was our season of change in general, because I feel like I was kind of just going over I'm Pioneer Peru,
Trailblazer Nick.
and this is Pioneers and Trailblazers season 2 finale. I was looking back and seeing the video. It was the depths of winter. The winter hadn't even gone as bad as it was gonna get at that point in January.
At the beginning of the season.
The beginning of the season, and like I was just kind of seeing where I was at that point. Like I was like, I'm trying to get a new job, like, so just feeling like I hadn't even like the topping really hadn't become a thing yet, like just, you know, like
right.
the narrative of this season has been just changed for better or worse, and I feel like maybe this is gonna be our summer of like self-discovery more than like maybe we have in previous years. I at least feel like,
well, at the day that we're recording, it is the summer solstice today.
oh my God.
So it is officially summer.
And let me just say, we'll talk about yesterday because it's a big part of my town hall. But today, New York City is gorgeous.
It is a gorgeous day, darling.
And we should just say, I think we're kind of giving too. You look great. I think I look fantastic.
After pre-recording, when I got here, oh, you look good. that was what I was met with.
No.
So she's changed her tune once the cameras are rolling.
No. I was very objectively said you look good. You know, I was very you never give me any compliments, Diva.
I do too.
I cannot remember the last time you ever gave me a compliment, Nick. And that's
what do you mean?
T-boots.
I'm complimenting you all the time.
You are not a complimenting kind of friend. I think you share your friendship not by like words of affirmation. I think you share your friendship. I think your love language in friendship is quality time,
and
because
acts of service.
And sure.
I'm sorry. I show up for my sister.
Great.
That's how I do.
You know what I mean? I think I'm very much like, you know, like I'm like a hype girl in a sense.
Sure.
But anyway, I guess that's where we're at. But let me read this. So this is, and I got permission to share this person's name. This is townsperson Brian. Hi, Brian. Shout out
Brian.
from Ireland. One of our Irish townspeople. And I do know. Well, I mean, I'll go into the DM that we got. I have a story to gag the girls. Love from your Irish sister townsperson, by the way. Love you, Ireland. Ahoy. No, what's this? Well, no, we want to cut that.
What?
No, like what are the Irish people like? What do the Irish people say? Totally that. What do the Irish people say?
I don't know, girl.
What's this not the stereotypical like for like, you know, like for Australians is like mate. What's the Irish equivalent of mate?
Saoirse Ronan.
Okay, I'm moving on. I'm currently dance captain on a production of 42nd Street. Okay. So I lead physical warm-ups. So I've been re-listening to a few episodes to get me through early morning gym sessions. We love a re-listen. Shout out. I was re-listening to the Oink Oink Bareback Only episode and had to cut off as the story got to the swell to get to work. Flash forward 5 minutes later as I connected to the speaker to lead warm-up with the choreographer, director, associates, and MD, and the entire cast. The words, "Oh yeah, oink oink, bareback only," bellowed through the room speakers, followed by rapturous laughter. LOL. I told everyone about the podcast, and now you have a few new townspeople. Love from the cast, XX.
Wait.
Shout out.
I love community being built.
Love community. Last season we got a DM from someone who said that their headphones got unplugged
On
at
the
the airport on the
plane.
plane, and they and I always wonder, like, what people I've already mentioned, like, people do, like, when they're listening to this, but just the idea that, like, what the things that we say here are not, like, listened or like or watched like, we're doing something very unique here. And its candidness and its raunchiness, and I feel like, the town now on oh my god, what was that?
My phone.
Oh, your phone.
My ass is so fat it knocked it off the chair.
Since the beginning of the season, now we've got, I checked, we've got like about to have 1,600 subscribers on YouTube. We've surpassed that number on Spotify too. So all of these things, is just like, wow, what a community we've built, like an actual community.
Yeah.
I know. So thank you first and foremost for everyone for being here, supporting us, whether you're a townsperson, a town council member, or a trust and believer on the Patreon. It's been this year has been a lot.
It's been a trying year.
It's been a trying year.
The first half, girl, oof.
But full of change. And I guess to go into what we promised we were going to talk about last episode as our, like, a little icebreaker, since Pride is coming up.
Well, it is Pride Month.
It is Pride Month, famously. Do you have any? We townsperson Errol, who's also part of our bigger community on the Patreon. Pride. What does Pride mean to you? Do you remember, like, your first Pride ever?
I didn't really get to, like, experience Pride fully until, like, the summer after I graduated college, because every summer I went home to, like, Wisconsin, so I would just be with, like, my parents and my family and stuff. So I never really got to enjoy the beauties of queer resistance, celebration, existence, and all the 9 yards. But I will say, like, my first summer, like, living in my own apartment, girl, Pride was getting my back blown out every night. Like, that was, like, what, because, like, I was so excited that I had my own place and that it was, like, a cute, like, I could just, like, host, and I lived on the Upper East Side, and, like, I lived with one of my best friends at the time, and, like, we were just, like, we would go out all the time and get drunk and stuff, and I was, like, bringing so many men home, and just, like, I was getting good ticket, girl. But
do you recall, like, your first, like, Pride weekend or, like, Pride activity, like, anything related to, like,
no, it was never, like, we just, like, went to industry a lot. We just, like, we kept going there, and then I kept getting recognized because I was coincided with the time that, like, my TikTok.
Speaking of getting recognized, you better get recognized. You saw the viral video that's going on of Honey Boo Boo?
Which one?
So, like, those, I know there's so many of these freaking accounts, and I'm sorry, but I'm going to be one of those, like, haters that, like, now everyone thinks they can grab a microphone and interview people on the street, and now you think you're a fucking journalist. Like, I'm like, and I'm gonna roast some of our community people. They're also trying to find their niche there, and I'm just like, listen, like,
I'm abstaining from that.
I understand people trying to hustle, but I also want to say out loud that, like, that concept, it's there. I mean, unless you're doing some revolutionary question asking, then I think it's just, like, another, just, I guess, easy way to break through.
Are they queer comedians?
I don't know. Maybe yes, queer.
Then that's revolutionary.
Oh, shut up!
For them to put themselves out there during under Trump's presidency,
and, like,
girl,
and
that is revolutionary.
No, it's not.
Speak on it.
And what I speak on is the fact that a lot of these interviews aren't even organic; they're all set up, and I'm just like, you cannot sell me on the idea that you just like, if you were actually randomly the one account, the Instagram account, the Meet Cute one. that's legitimately organic guy just going up to couples or people who
Oh,
thinks are couples, and
'Cause then
those
you-
are not set up.
Well, yeah,
those
because
are
you can tell
organic.
because those people are always like, yeah,
Yeah.
why?
Yeah.
And like and then it like cuts, and then because he probably has to like explain or whatever,
yeah.
and then they're like. And then their whole demeanor completely changes. Like, oh my god! So like, I met this person.
I know.
I love it when he does it to old people because it's always like you can tell that they're like, "What is this?"
Yeah, yeah,
Like, or whatever.
And a lot of the old people too, like they don't even get chummy about it. They just like talk, and then those are the ones that are even the most interesting because their love is so lived in that they're just like, oh yeah, like this and that. And
I saw someone who is trying to like recreate that. I think trying to like start their own like social media grift and doing it. And like one of the videos came up and it was these two very like awkward, like I would say like teenagers, early like 20 somethings that they like stopped, and they both look so uncomfortable on camera. And like the interviewer has no charisma, and like the question is just like, so how'd you meet? And then like one of them makes like the guy makes a joke or something, and then the girl's like, no, like no, he's kidding, and like they're just like going back and forth, and then it's just so uncomfortable to watch. And then I like went to this person's account. I'm like, is this? Because at first I thought it was a skit. I thought it was like,
oh, they're parodying it, they're making fun of it.
And so then I went to the account. And I went, oh no, these are real. But I was like, wait, that's kind of interesting. Like going up to like weird looking couples, which in its own is like problematic, but like going up to like couples that like look like they're
that
maybe
they could be on the spectrum.
yeah, and then being like, how'd you meet? And then just like they're so uncomfortable and they're like a deer in headlights. We met on an app, and it's just like so uncomfortable to watch. But I was like so fascinated by it. I like watched a couple of them yesterday.
Yeah. Well, I guess to go back. Oh yeah. Well, what were we talking? Oh. So
what does pride mean to you?
No. So I saw one of these videos, and they were interviewing Honey Boo Boo, and guess what? You know what? To like really season finale, we want to uplift full circle all these things. My story is definitely full circle, so hold on tight for that. But Miss Honey Boo Boo, I think her name is Alana.
Mm-hmm.
A young lady.
She's been through so much.
She's been through so, but there. Oh my God, there were so many avenues this girl's life could have taken, to turns.
She's a child, no?
Well, now she's like in her early 20s,
Well, I think it was also a teen pregnancy.
Was she?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but she seems completely normal, super down to earth.
I think she's in college or just got out.
She's going to nursing school or just finished nursing school. Is having a completely beautifully normal like life right now, and I don't know why I was so happy
You started crying.
to see that she's just like a balanced a woman in the world who's just living her life, and again, it could have gone in so many different directions.
Well, she's like a modern day like child actor, like child star. You know what I mean? Like,
but even in modern day though, like so many.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like some of them, like it's like there's so many. Like like there's Drew Barrymore who was like a child star, and then everything that she went through. Thank God she sort of turned out the way that she did, and like has learned from it and remained grounded.
I know, but the thing is, like, this is now in her 40s, or I don't know, things late 40s, early 50s, Drew Barrymore, because like she did go through her bad phase for like a good 20 years.
Well, so did Miss Honey Boo Boo when she had her TLC reality show. They were all kind of like crazy and just doing whatever.
No, of course, but that's what I mean. Like that was just part of the bit. I'm saying like post that her as she's growing up, she could have fallen into like celebrity or like done many different things, just being up, eaten up by I guess the industry or Hollywood.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
She
like,
said no.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's so easy for like I think like the reality stars are sort of like the modern day, and same with like I think we will see as like time goes on, like also influencers will sort of be like, especially child influencers, like you'll see them like either they go the route of like really keeping it together and remaining grounded and like whatever, or inverse, they'll totally like crash out and hit rock bottom, and it'll be very public and it'll be very sad to like witness.
Yeah,
I feel like that's just sort of the plight of getting really famous at such a young age really quickly.
Yeah. So I guess that is that on that those videos. But
wait, how did we get? Because getting recognized.
Yeah, getting recognized that industry.
Yeah, so I would get recognized, and also because my friend at the time, she loved it because we would go into gay bars and it would be like. It wasn't like that many people. I think like the most one night that people came up, there was like maybe 4 people who like had come up to me over the course of the night just to be like, I love your videos. And I'd be like, oh my God, thank you. And then she'd be in the corner being like, oh my God, oh my God, you're like famous. And like she'd be so drunk and she'd just like be like, oh my God, I love it. I love it. And I'd be like, girl, relax, calm down. So there was that. And then I just like am thinking there was this one guy that I had sex with who was visiting. He was visiting from Houston.
Shout out.
And he came to my apartment and he was low key DL, but like, which girl, we're over the DLs. But at the time, he like hit me up and he was so sexy. He like didn't have any profile photos or whatever. And then he was like staying at a hotel near my apartment at the time. And sent me his photos or whatever. And I was at that point, I think I was like really drunk. I had come in from a night out and he sent me his photos like, you know what? Yeah, come over. So he's like, tells me he's on his way. And as soon as I get that message that he's like coming, I get like so nervous all of a sudden. And I'm like, oh no, like what if this guy is like, I don't know, crazy or like, I don't know. Like I just like, all of a sudden got really nervous. But then he shows up, so fucking sexy. He lays it down like no other. And then he like stays and he just chats and we like snuggle and cuddle in bed and we're like talking and stuff. He follows me on Instagram. He was like, oh, I'm just visiting, but like the next time I come, like I'll hit you up. And I'm like, yes, daddy. Like he's a scientist. It was like this whole thing. Never hit me back up if you ever visited again. But we still follow each other on Instagram and I'm still like, he never posts. Like I think he maybe has like 4 posts on his Instagram, but he like posted like maybe a couple of months after the fact, and then I like liked it, and I think we were DMing for a minute, but then it sort of just like fizzled out. But that dick was so good. But I just when I think of like my first Pride, I think of him, and then also the old guy who almost had a heart attack in my bed.
Yeah, you discussed that one,
which I've talked about. Yeah,
yes, go to season 1, please. Season 1 revisit. I'm sure Brian's fully caught up on that one for sure.
But yeah,
but for me, I remember to me the biggest takeaway from like my first Pride experiences in New York City specifically, because I when I was in Odessa, Texas, like when I was in high school, like it wasn't a thing. And you're also like June is never although I guess I will say my niece goes into school into like early June, and I was like, I remember when I was in high school, like we only went until like late May. We never went that late,
Well, I don't know how it is for other school districts, but at least like the school district that I used to go to, that my mom's a teacher at still, sometimes that they have to extend into June because of all of the snow days. Or like the weather,
which we never get in Texas. You know?
Yeah, so like they sometimes like they do that because they have to make up for like the lost days or whatever.
Okay, well that makes sense.
Yeah,
but I remember vividly, I was hanging out with like my trio of friends. It was me, my friend Kevin, who was in town recently, and my friend Alex, not town founding member Alex, shout out, but a different Alex, because Alex is a common white boy name, and. It was me, Alex, and Kevin, and in my first Pride, we were like, they were like, okay, let's go to the parade and like on Sunday and do this, and like it was a week thing, and was going to like this party and this party, and like I never knew about circuit parties, and I never really understood what circuit parties like what the vibe were. And I remember distinctly, I don't even know where, but we were drunk at this point, and I remember I also did Molly for the first time with Alex and Kevin at this Pride party at Webster Hall. I remember specifically what occurred. We made this huge line, which again hasn't changed. Every single Pride, this next weekend, every Planet Pride, every single part, Ladyland, there's gonna be a hugest line outside. Half of the battle is just getting in. It's just like, and this year I'm not going. Last year I went to Ladyland. This year it's over $100 a ticket. I'm sorry. I am not gonna pay that much money to go stand around and just like be judged and judge other gay men. Like I can do that for free in Hell's Kitchen. Like I don't need to be going to a free.
We're going to Queen. We're going to Astoria.
We're going to Astoria later, but I'm gonna start we always start. Should I say where we're gonna start? Yeah, I don't care. People can come.
Well, at this.
Well, I always start at the Garret. It is my 5th year in a row. Sunday Pride at around 3 p.m. I'll be at the Garret. If you want to do a meet and greet, I'll be there.
That's where I have the day off, so that's where we're meeting.
Well, of course, Nick famously for the first time ever got the Sunday Pride off. Kudos to Nick for like taking time out for Pride for the first time in his professional career.
I got judged last year.
You almost got jumped last year. We were gonna jump your ass.
No, because everyone's like, "Oh, you couldn't request off for Pride." I was like, "Do you know how many people requested off?"
Nobody, diva.
So many people did.
Not. I know.
Last year, people did.
Honey, I don't know who you think you're lying to, but I work at that place, and I know that I know people didn't request. Not in your department either, honey. I know nobody at reservations was like, I need Sunday Pride off. It's just you, and just own up to it. You're just not that kind of diva.
Well, I didn't request off because I didn't think that I needed to. And also I said I worked brunch until 4, so I can still go out after.
Okay, well, the whole thing is like to just be, free that day, literally.
Well,
Love yourself and be free.
I have it off now. I have a 3-day weekend next week.
So always start at the Garret, which is that like quote unquote hidden bar on top of the Five Guys in the West Village. Love it. It's never too crowded. It's a really good vibe to start. Get there around 3 p.m. Vibe, have drinks. We'll just like hang out in the West Village and then like make our way to Astoria. Anyway, Webster Hall line for this dumb, and I was like, why is it so busy? And I was like, well, must be like a cool like, ooh, there's gonna be like performers, or like it's gonna be like, I was thinking like queer as folk, I was like, oh, it's gonna be like it's gonna be like what was the bar called?
I don't remember.
Fuck no, people are screaming right now listening to this who are like queer as folk fans.
Let me look.
What's it called? Fire, hell, something purgatory, something. What's it called? It's something.
Babylon.
Yes. I was getting there. Purgatory, hell.
Battle for your life.
Babylon. I was like, oh my God, it's going to be just like Babylon, right? Like, it's going to be like performance over here. It's going to be a drag queen doing like a number, and it's going to be like a cool number, like I was thinking. Get there, it's just like hundreds of like mostly shirtless, mostly white
harnessed
men.
up.
Not harnessed up. It was just like
I saw
Manhattan gays just dancing around. And I was like, oh, so this is it? Like, and then it's like, oh, the whole, every time you go to a party that has like different levels or like a club or whatever, it's like, okay, let's check out upstairs, So like you go upstairs and then you do the same thing you did downstairs. Just like stand around, get another vodka soda, just fucking like it out, no beat to the fucking, and then, okay, let's go check out downstairs. Go back downstairs and get another vodka. But the thing is, I was like, oh, the bar is empty. I was like, why is nobody getting drinks? Like, I guess people don't drink or whatever. No. Everyone is in a line to get bottled water. And I was like, oh, everyone's just staying out.
On drugs, mama.
It's because everyone is doing drugs. So no one is drinking. I was like one of the only like 5 people that were like a vodka soda that cost me like $35. And I was like, and then that's when Alex, because it was my first time doing Pride with them. And we weren't as close at this point. But they were like, at one point, like it very much like Regina George and like Gretchen Wieners and fucking Karen. Like it was one of those things where they looked at me when we were dancing with these other guys, and then Alex looks to Kevin and he's like, and then Kevin's like, and then they're like, hey Peru, well, do you want to try something? And I was like, what? Like what do you want to try? So then they give me Molly, and then they were like, oh, you can't do the whole thing, do only half of it. So like I did half of it, and like. I will say, like, I rolled, yes, but I wasn't rolling as much as they were rolling, for sure. Or as much as everybody else was rolling. Because then after a couple, like, I would say, like, an hour and a half, I was like, okay, like, I see the appeal, but then I still wasn't, like, it just wasn't, like, my vibe. And I remember at one point, when we came in, it was raining. And I didn't want to do the coat check thing, and I had nowhere to put my umbrella. And I was like, it was going to be raining all day. Like, I need to hide my umbrella. So I, like, hid my umbrella under some fucking staircase. And I remember when I was trying to leave, because Kevin and Alex were just, like, deep in rolling and just, like, dancing. And I was kind of bored at that point. So I was like, it took me, like, an hour to find this umbrella. I don't know why I couldn't remember, like, what staircase I put it under. Maybe because I was still kind of, like, high. Mm-hmm. And I was like, my biggest memory of that Pride is just looking for this damn umbrella. I was like, where is the umbrella? I was like, it's 4:30 in the morning. Like, I want to go home. Where's this umbrella? So that's definitely a core memory that I have from, like, a Pride celebration.
Love. And then I have one more that you just made me think of. I don't know if I talked about this. Did I ever tell the time about the only time that I ever made out with someone on the dance floor? Did I ever tell that story?
It sounds kind of familiar, but refresh our memories.
So I went out with my friend Vin. Shout out. This was like, I think this was the same summer. This was the summer that I graduated, or it was the summer after. I think maybe it was the summer after. But we were in Hell's Kitchen, and we were at Vodka Soda.
And say, okay, throwback.
Okay, is she still open?
I don't think so.
Okay. That was the place. They never like. That's where all my friends would go when we had fakes. Like because they were really easy on fakes, and so we
Not anymore, mama. Everything scans nowadays.
well we had scannable fakes.
Ooh.
Yeah, girl. It was 2020. 2020.
Yeah, but I mean, the whole like every bar scanning is only as of late.
Sure,
You
but
know?
but like every bar that we went to at the time, like they scanned.
They
So like we
scanned.
made sure we got scannable fakes. And they worked. They did work because most of the time, like we were nervous of them just like looking at the fake and being like, no.
No.
when they scan them, they just scan it and just see what the age
What
says,
the
and then
age is.
they like move on, and they're like, great. But so then we would go to vodka soda all the time, and so then I went with my friend Vin, and we were so drunk. Like we had gone to like he was like we were going out for Pride. It was just the two of us, and then we were on the dance floor at vodka soda.
I don't know that one.
Mhm. And was it vodka soda or maybe it was the gay bar that was right next to it? But there was a dance floor that was all mirrors in there because it wasn't a very big space, but it was in the back room. It was lots of people, but it was like mirrored all around, so it made it look bigger. And we were dancing and stuff, and there was this like hot guy who was like very much my type. He was like kind of a shorty, had like a like cute facial hair, glasses. Like he like you could tell that he like worked out.
You
And
love a short king.
I do. I really do. I'm like, I was really in denial about it for the longest time, but I'm like, you know what? It's fine. A short king I can deal with. But so then anyway,
Short king summer.
Short King Summer.
Pull it out.
Honestly, need. So shout out if you slide into the DMs. But so then anyway, so there he was with his like friend who was a woman, and so we were like, Vin like saw her because I think she like was doing something or said something to him, and like he was like, oh, I like this girl, she's funny, and so then he like struck up a conversation with her, and so then eventually there was the four of us all dancing together, and his friend was like, really
I love that when that happens at
No.
the gay bar.
me too, and so his friend was really feeling me, and so we're dancing.
And you know what? Just a quick shout out too, since we're shouting out a lot of people. Shout out. I know everyone's gonna hate me for saying this, but you know, shout out some of the girlies that come with the gays to the gay bar.
Oh, I love
because those girlies are the ones who like break the ice and get people together. Because
Well,
guess
yes.
what? Because guess what? All of the freaking fags and all the freaking homos are too self-conscious or too egotistical or whatever to be striking up. The girls are the ones just like, hey, you're like dancing, and they're like, oh my god, my friends are right here, and then they're the ones who like bridge the gap.
Well, the
So,
reason the gays get so mad is because of misogyny at the end of the day.
at the end of the day.
But so then anyway, so it was the four of us were all dancing, and then eventually like he was up behind me, like had his hands on my waist and was like grinding on me, and I was like, oh my god. Eventually, like Vin and this girl were like, we're gonna go to the bathroom, we're gonna get another drink, and so then we're
just like that.
because he was fucked.
Oh yeah.
And so was I. I was like really drunk. And so then they went and left, and it was just the two of us, and we were like chit-chatting and stuff on the dance floor. And eventually he pushes me up against the wall, which is like a mirror, and just starts making out with me. And I have never, and still, yeah, that was the first and only time I've ever made out with somebody on a dance floor. And and it was good, girl. Like I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, I'm gonna take this bitch home. And so then they come back, they have other drinks, like whatever, we're dancing.
I'm gonna take this bitch home.
Yes, I was like, wait. I was like, yes, we got the trade for the night. And then and then we're dancing and stuff, and then all of a sudden they're like, it's really hot in here, the guy and his friend, like, it's really hot in here, we're gonna go get some air outside. And we were like, work. And we at that point had exchanged numbers, or whatever. And so then they go outside, and Vin and I are still like on the dance floor, we're dancing with whatever, and he's like, what's your plan? And I was like, I think I'm gonna try to take him home. And he's like, yes, take him home, take him home, and whatever. And then all of a sudden I see a message saying, oh, yeah, we're actually just gonna go home. And I was like, oh, they live in like Westchester.
Oh
So
god.
they have to take they're like, we have
The
to
lure.
they're like, we have to take the last train back out to the suburbs. But like we should totally hang sometime. And I was like, no, I want a dick. And so then I was like, oh yeah, okay, no, totally. And so then I was like, that was a huge flop. But then he like kept texting me afterwards, and then he turned out to be like very like strange. Just like a weirdo, but like not like, he was cute, but then it was just like he was not my type. But like because I was drunk, I was like, I just saw him for like being sexy.
Of course, yeah. You've got those like goggles on of just like infatuation.
The beer goggles, mama.
Yeah,
Except
beer
it
goggles.
was vodka soda goggles at the time. I was we were vodka soda goggles. But so yeah, so then nothing ever came of that. But we followed each other on Instagram for a while, and then he eventually unfollowed me. So then I unfollowed him back. So I was like, fuck you, bitch. I was like, fuck you.
Damn,
So-
sometimes when you realize that with that follow thing still gets me sometimes. Like I find myself double checking with some people. I'm just like, wait, there's
Well, I told Peru friend I told that I talked about man first season who like I had a situationship with essentially, and was strung along for the over the course of.
Speaking of short kings, but he ain't no king.
Well, he's a short peasant.
Short peasant.
A short plebe.
Short court jester.
He was a court jester, very much so. So then anyway, so he had strung me along. We've talked about him. You're familiar. We hooked up over Thanksgiving and then
Season one.
But then anyway, a couple of weeks ago, I was like, I had him muted. I muted his Instagram. I was like, I'm still going to follow him because I'm like, I'm like the bigger person. I'm the adult in the situation. I was like, listen, I'm not going to let that bother me. I'll just mute you so I don't have to see what you're posting. But like, I'm not going to like, because I feel like an unfollow is so aggressive.
I'm an unfollower, girl.
No, there's just something about that just feels so aggressive. And I'm like, damn, bitch. Like, you couldn't even just like, why. I was like, we couldn't even just like be chill with each other. Like, you did me so dirty. Like, if anyone was to unfollow, it should have been me. But I was like, I'm going to take the high. When they go low, we go high. Shout out Michelle.
Shout out Michelle.
But so then anyway, I was like, I wonder what he's been up to because again, I had him muted. So I go to his Instagram because I know he has a boyfriend now, and like, I'm so over it. But I was just like, I haven't seen him post in forever.
Right.
I go to his Instagram and I just go to his followers like to see who he's following. I'm like, does he still follow me? Because like randomly, like he hasn't looked at my stories in forever. So I was just like, what's going on? He unfollowed me. I was like, what the fuck? I literally was sitting there and I was like, damn, what I do?
Fuck him. You don't need him.
No, I don't need him.
Yeah. What a clog in the algorithm.
But I was like, damn, bitch. He probably heard the pod. He probably heard that we were talking about him.
Great, good. Maybe Miss M told him.
Maybe.
And he done found out.
But
my other pride story, and then we'll get into like, I guess, other stuff. I guess. Well, because I have some stuff to tell you. But it was another one of those, because again, Alex and, well, I think this was the pride following my first pride with them. And they were all still in New York, and it was me, Kevin, and Alex, and like a couple other friends. So we had gone to this pride party. Another one of those like pride weekend parties that they're not at a bar, but they're like at an event venue, you know, that they just like rent out for pride. One of those big ones, right?
sure.
So the gag with this one, and I believe it was a Friday, or was it the night before Sunday Pride? Anyway, it was one of those that was like a theme one, and the theme of this was there was like a 2 dance floor levels, and then there was a third level that was like in the like not the rooftop, but just like the like half floor, whatever. That was a tented like robe. It was like a towel party, but then like the other half of the
What's a towel party?
So I'm getting to it. So then,
Oh, okay. You don't have to yell at me.
so you go up. So you make the fucking long line to get in the fucking first venue. Then, of course, they're like, let's go to the fucking towel party. And it was my first time ever like remotely coming close to like taking my clothes off, you know, because the whole thing is you check in your clothes. Which is, you know, of course, there's so many underwear parties now, you know. But what I'm saying is, like, this was
Never
like
been one.
this was a towel party. So they check in your clothes, and then just remember this detail: they check in your clothes and they put them in a bag, right? And then they give you a number, and then they give you a towel. So then there's half of the room is an area in which you can just walk around with just your towel, you know. So you're like shirtless, towel. And
What
of
if
course,
someone just ripped your towel off?
and well, that's the whole lore. You know, everyone's just like trying to like tease each other, right? But then there's another within this half floor special location. There's even another location further into this like half floor third level thing, in which is like tent. There's like a tent inside the floor, it was weird. I remember I was like, why is it a tented space? Like, why didn't they just get like a curtain or something? But they tented it up, and then if you crossed that area, was like all naked, you know, everyone was just naked, and then everyone I found out was fucking, because I wanted to just like take a peek, you know, and there was a big bowl of condoms. I remember vividly, like it was the only thing before you go into the
And it
tent.
remained full because no one was using.
No one was using it. It was just hilarious. And then
Shout out to Prep.
shout out to Prep, and then I walked in and I was like, oh, like everyone's fucking here. And at that point, I had never done anything. Cut to me now, just fucking having fucking whatever group on the daily, basically. So I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna do that.
I worry about my sister.
So I was like, I had my towel on, and then again, these kinds of like circuit parties are just not my thing, and I've come to learn that about myself. I didn't know then, but now I know. It's just like I'm not into like the I prefer like music, you know. It's not my vibe.
Oh, you're saying isn't music?
DJing is good. Techno can be fun, but like at the fucking circuit parties, there's no like art to the techno. Let's just say that they're just putting whatever is in the background that will go great with Molly or Kay or whatever. So
these DJs are gonna have some choice words.
listen,
for you,
DJ Alex
darling.
Dimitri, shout out, promoting. He's gonna be playing Sunday. I'm putting it here for any New York City townspeople who are listening to
Queen.
this. Go to Queen on Sunday Pride. We're gonna be there starting at 8 p.m. I believe, spinning some tunes. If you live in Astoria or if you live in New York City, you wanna come do meet and greet again. We'll be at the Garrett at 3 p.m. and then we'll be in Queens at that night. If you want to come see us, come say hello, come take a picture with us, and shout out. So DJ Alex Dimitri, and trust and believe, I was at Alex's first set just recently at Albatross. Great music, you know. So I appreciate the art of DJing. It's just any of these secret parties you're not going there for the DJing, okay? Anyway.
Says the people who are actively going forward, said DJ.
Whatever. So I was like, I want to go. Like, it was already like 3 a.m. at that point, and I've been there like an hour too long. Because, like, Alex and Kevin are just looking to get dick down or, like, kiss and make out. And, like, at that point, I was still, even to this day, it's not my thing. Like, when I'm out with the girls, I'm out with the girls. Like, yes, do I approach random people at Julius and try to hit on them and then ignore them when they tell me they have a partner? Yes.
All the time.
All the time.
Wait, real quick before we continue, should we add light since we're losing light?
Oh, yeah, maybe here. I can keep talking, actually. Oh, duh. But anyway, so I was like, okay, I'm just going to go. So I'm like, hey, guys, so I'm just going to head out. They're like, why are you leaving? But it's only 3 o'clock. And I was like, no, I'm going to leave. Like, it's just, you know, I'm done.
No, it's fine. I'm going to leave.
No.
I'm so fine. I'm going to leave.
Which light?
The middle one.
There you go.
The natural.
Do you think that gives us enough light?
Yeah, I think so.
Watch it be on frame.
I don't think so. It doesn't look like it is.
Does that help a little bit?
Yeah,
We'll
I
see.
think so.
Comment down below if that made any difference
I'm
whatsoever.
sure it does.
Here's the gag. I left, and at that point, a lot of other people were also trying to leave. Remember when I told you they put our things in a bag and a number? Well, what I didn't tell you is that the way that they actually organized this is there was no organization at all. They just collected all of your things in a trash bag that wasn't even white. It was a different color. And then they used black Sharpies to label the trash bags, and they just made a huge, I remember the mountain of trash bags, one on top of the other, non-organized. No one had thought this through. They were just throwing the trash bags on the fucking pile.
Oh my God.
And so you're like, oh, at number 113, honey, good luck that they had to sift through all of the bags to look for yours. And there were plenty of bags there. I remember I was like, okay, bye guys. 3:30, okay? 4 a.m., they're like making laps and they're like, you're still here? And I'm like, yeah, I'm waiting for my bag because it took almost an hour for them to find my number. At one point, one of the girls was just like, we can't find your bag. And I was like, well, I'm literally
what are you going to
towel.
do? Yeah, what are you supposed to do?
Do you have anything? Can you borrow your shirt? Because I need my clothes. Finally, they find my clothes. And then I was like, I will never ever do that again.
That sounds awful.
Ever. Now, of course, like they have a proper code check and whatever at the places that I know are doing it, but that specific party did not have any organization, and I was like, I will never. I was like, I literally left, and I was like, I'm never doing that again. That was a waste of my time, and it was like, I think it was like $30 to check your shit. I was like, that was like, it's insane. You know, the capitalism of Pride we're not going to go into really because we could really go on another tangent on that one, but let's just say. Every single bar on fucking Sunday, not the Garrett, but every other bar in New York City is going to have a cover for when you go in. And Miss Nick was surprised about that little detail the last couple Prides.
No, I wasn't surprised because that's been something that I've known since
but no,
my
but
first
you,
Pride.
but trust and believe, you make sure to mention it every time.
Well, because I hate
There's
it.
gonna be a yes, it's going to be a cover. Everywhere we go is going to be a cover.
Because I hate that. I hate that like...
But no need to make it a thing. We're going to go to Flaming
Oh,
Salad.
I'm going to make it
a cover.
I'm going to make it a thing. I am going to make it a thing. What time are we going to Queen?
Well, the thing is...
Because like I work breakfast the next day.
Well, here's a real tea. We're going to get... My hair is flat today.
No, it's not. You have a lot of volume at the front.
At the front, but not like...
No, it looks like fine. It looks like it's all even.
Okay. All right.
It literally looks... you literally...
Everyone's commenting, Nick, tell Peru his hair looks flat.
And I'm sorry, and I... Oh, I thought you were going to say, Nick, give Peru a compliment.
No, yeah, give her a compliment in Spanish.
Well, that I can't do.
Which, by the way, Karol G's new album, Tropicoqueta, dropped. Move over, white girlies. The white girlies could never
Move over, Heim.
move over. But the art is great though. I like the art direction with this concept. With
The
the whole
album is really
paparazzi.
good.
I'm not gonna listen to Haim, girl. I wanna dance out to fucking Karol G.
Well,
Yeah.
there's a lot of songs that you can dance to on that album. Anyway,
Not like Karol G's songs.
Well, I guess it's different, but
Great.
you can
This is what you ask. Oh, what's your favorite song? Right. Okay.
Oh my God, what's your favorite song? What's your favorite song of the album, girl?
I got plenty. So anyway, so that's Pride. Hope that covers some of the Pride stories. You know, Pride is a joyous occasion. Please be safe. Please be careful wherever you live in whatever city you're a townsperson from. Enjoy, celebrate, go support local. I'm not here to just,
Don't drink and drive.
Don't drink and drive. I'm not here to shit on any of the like circuit parties. Like I understand it, everything's a business and people like to go. But I will say, especially now, this is Trump's America. They're trying to silence us and trying to like erase us from shit. Make sure you're supporting your local establishments, your local dive. Make sure you're really putting your money this Pride where it will really make a difference. Support. Go show up, show out. If there's going to be a protest or a march and you feel comfortable going to it too, participate. If not, just go out there and feel free and be seen. Houston's Pride is huge. Houston's Pride, because I went to it a few times when I was there, it is, I believe, the third largest Pride in the United States.
Wow.
It's definitely top 4. And let me tell you, it's huge. Like, almost as big that the
Just
city
like
just like your vagina.
I was gonna say, just like your ass at prom, which
Oh.
is a quote from Bride Wars.
Mm.
Shout out Kate Hudson and
Shout
Anne
out
Hathaway.
Shout out the girls. Anyway, okay. Let's go. I don't. Well, do you necessarily have a town hall? Because I have my town hall is what occurred yesterday. That it was. I mean, it is sexual, yes. But it also has a button at the end. Because I'm like, I can't believe that just happened.
Not really. I feel like this week has been very sort of like anticlimactic. Like nothing has really happened for me, which I think is great. I got a lot of like shit done. Like it was a lot of like maintaining the home. I did laundry yesterday, and I was like convinced that because it was Juneteenth and it was a hot day, everyone was going to be at the beach. No one was going to be doing their laundry. Oh, sorely mistaken. That was the first time since living in my apartment, which has been 3 years, that I've had to stand there and wait for a dryer. Like I had to wait because there were so many dryers that were done and had fully like full loads in them because the people just like left them and didn't come get them.
Yeah, but I remember when I didn't have an in unit washer and dryer, which I do now, and have for the last 3 years.
Yep, the privilege it jumps out.
Hopefully, it jumps out. My only privilege is that I have a fucking in unit washer and dryer. But I remember I was in Queens. I was living in Ridgewood, I believe. No. I was in Woodside. I haven't been in the city for that long. But I was in Woodside, and I remember people would take your dry clothes off of the dryer. They would put it in a little cart and just shove it away. No one cared. They just took the shit out, diva.
See, the thing is like one girl asked one of the workers at the laundromat if
Can you just take it
she's
out?
like,
Yeah.
can you take this stuff out? And the woman was like, yeah, I guess. And then the woman came whatever like 20 minutes later, and she's like, where's my stuff? And like got like really upset and angry. And I was like, you know what, girl,
Diva, don't leave your shit there.
Don't leave your shit, or like time it. Like that's like the
Yes.
thing. That's like the thing that bothers me is like also like I'm the kind of girl who is just gonna sit and post up at the laundromat.
Yeah, like read a book.
I brought my
you know.
Kindle. I've been reading a new book, Madonna in a Fur Coat. It's a Turkish classic from like the 1960s. It's actually really good. I'm like almost halfway through it. But that's like so I did laundry. I did laundry yesterday, and then I picked up my prescription today, and it's just been a very like chill and casual sort of week, and like I really have nothing to complain about, nothing to say.
Okay.
I've been horny. Today's like my first day where I'm not horny. I've been so horny, but since DL Puerto Rican Trade told me that he would never see me again, it's been a drought. And I've also been over DL men now because I think that was like my last DL experience. Cause like now I'm getting hit up by DL men like much more, and I'm just not interested because I'm like, that's not what I want. Like I want someone who's gonna like fuck me, but then also not like, I don't want someone who's gonna be like so nervous or like ashamed to have sex with me, you know?
Yeah, that sounds like something I would like too.
So Shout out. Shout out to the DL community this Pride.
Please elevate the LGBTQ
Oh,
IDL.
no, trust you'll be on my Instagram story on Sunday. I'm gonna be like, shout out, happy Pride to all the DLs. This day's for you, babe.
Wait, LGBTQ IDL is kind of fun.
Title of that.
Title of that, LGBTQ IDL. So, oh, and it'll be great for the for like the for ISO or whatever. Like it's like people be typing LGBTQIA a lot.
Okay,
like,
alphabet soup.
Okay, so yesterday.
Is this a group? Sorry.
Yes. But so I was doing some work of my own, and yesterday the weather was kind of like nuts. It was like sunny at one period, and then it was rainy, and then there was that big monsoon happen, which
knocked over multiple trees in my neighborhood. It was. Look at. Do you want to see the pictures real quick before we get into it? Look at the pictures.
Yeah. Also, do you want a refill or are you good?
I'm good for now. This is the one in front of my apartment.
Oh my god!
I know. I saw that on my way. On my walk home, I was like, "Bitch, what the fuck?" This is the one on my way to the gym.
Oh my god!
It literally knocked over like.
Well, we have to post these. I gotta remember to post these. I gotta remember to post this in a bit
on the Patreon.
So I was like, okay. I'd already been talking. Last time I was in the Upper West Side area, I had mutual taps on Grindr with this guy who lived in the area, who is a bottom, and who because something occurred in which like the timing just wasn't right, and then ended up just leaving the area, and I had starred him, and then sometimes I just go through like my stars, because my stars is like either people that have made a plan to hook up with, and then like it kind of ended up falling through, but I want to make sure I revisit, or people that I have hooked up with, and like I want to keep them there for like future,
Mm-hmm.
So went there and I checked out his profile, and then I tapped him again just so that's a way to say like hello, because I want to make sure that we can revisit each other, because I thought he was really sexy. And so he messages me, so I'm like, hey, blah blah blah, we should hook up. And then I was like, okay. He was like, this is yesterday, Juneteenth, and he was like, okay, well, I was like, I'm gonna be in the area because I like to post up in the Upper West Side with my computer, get some work done for myself personally, cruise. And so I was feeling horny, and I remember I was gonna make a plan to go fuck him in the Upper West Side, but then I was like, you know what? I was like, Peru, you should douche. Like you should do your full prep.
You know what, girl?
You know what?
You should douche.
You know what? And I was like, I had a really, easy morning. I felt like pretty good. Like I felt pretty like steady, physiologically speaking. So like I popped a couple of Imodium. I douched pretty well, and I was like, you know what? Just live a little today. Like you're gonna go have sex with this guy, but something else might come up, and like one thing is that you can fuck somebody, but then you can also get fucked. Like keep your options open.
The beauty of versatility.
The beauty of versatility. So this is the beauty of versatility. The title of yesterday in general, because we'll get to it. So on my way down, he was like, hey, by the way, like, because he was pretty horny, and he's like a really, really charismatic, sexy, really, like real person kind of bottom. And by that, I mean, like, we were actually chatting on Grindr, you know what I mean? It wasn't just like, okay, whatever, like, we were intending to, like, have sex. It wasn't just like a ass up, load up, get off, whatever.
Yeah,
So,
I prefer that kind of
communication. Which I really enjoyed. So already from the get-go, the communication was really strong. It was really funny and silly, and I had to pick up a package from Michelle Collins too, which I guess you'll hear the story if you do listen on the Michelle Collins show. We just recorded earlier today, but I was like, okay. He was like, I'm gonna go pick up this package thing, and on my way back up, I can come up and I can whatever, we can have sex. And he was like, hey, actually, this other guy might be coming. Would you like to wanna wait, or like wanna come before him?
He was playing back-to-back dickings?
Or he was like, or would you
Girl.
like to fuck me with him?
Run a train.
And I was like, okay, like I've been really enjoying the group situation, but this is specifically was like, okay, like I hadn't planned like a tag or like a threesome, foursome, whatever with another. So I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm interested. Like, show me pics. So he sends me pics. Oh, which I can't even. I'll have to show you after this because we're recording with my phone. See, I had a lot of visual media I wanted to show you, but now you won't have any idea.
You can use your words.
Okay, so the first guy that he sends me, you're gonna gag. Okay, so first guy he sent, and I'm not gonna
There
tell
are
you.
multiple men.
I'm getting to it, bitch.
Well, you said the first guy, so I'm like,
you have to just wait. Okay, I'm telling the story.
Well, now I have a question.
I'm
I have
excited.
questions.
I'm excited. Sends me the first photo of the first guy. And I'm like, oh yeah, he's sexy. Like, sure, like I would love to tag you with him, you know. We'd love to tag you with him.
That'd be so great. Actually, I would love to do that.
I was like, he's sexy, cool, and make sure you share my pictures too, you know, because I want to make sure the vibe is right. And it really seemed that this guy was trying to curate it, right? So he seemed like he was being good about it. He was trying to be a good host. He was trying to be like, not just like random guys come here. He was trying to create a vibe, which is why we were exchanging photos, and I really appreciated that. I was like, great, I love this. Then he goes and tells me as I'm picking up the package, he's like, hey, actually, that guy won't be able to come until around 3:30, and it was around 1:30 at this time. But this other guy, my friend that I have that I usually hook up with is free. Sends me the photo of another guy. Really sexy guy. I'm like, oh.
Who'd play her?
I was like, who would play the first guy? I'll get back to the first guy because he comes back around. But this guy, is his name John Chu? Who's
the actor?
Yeah.
John Chu Sexy.
Is it John Chu?
From Harold and Kumar?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think.
No, John Chu is the director of...
John Chu's the director, but who's... Oh, oops. Okay, listen. No, listen.
Wait, I think his name is John, though, is it not?
I believe his name is John. John Cho.
It was
so
so
sorry.
close.
Townspeople, so sorry. Just by one letter.
One
we apologize.
letter. John Cho
Yeah.
Sexy.
John Cho, however, John Cho would play him if John Cho are the styles of fuck. Now I'm getting so bad. What's no, not Cal Penn. Who's the guy from the Big Bang Theory?
Jim Parsons.
No, the other one.
The glasses, Short King.
No. He's I believe.
Oh, the mushroom cut guy. The bowl cut.
No, not Kunal Nayar. Oh my god. This is gonna kill me. No, he's not from the Big Bang Theory. What is he from? How do we know him?
Oh, did he get really jacked?
Yes.
For the Kumal Nanjiani.
Oh, but what is he from?
He's from The Big Sick. He's from...
No, what's the show that made him popular? Because he was on a freaking sitcom, wasn't he?
That's a good question. I don't remember.
I believe he was. What? Okay.
He got really, but I mean, he got like
So
even bigger with The Big Sick.
just like Kumail Nanjiani got jacked for that fucking MCU whatever.
He was sexy before he got jacked to me, and he was sexy after.
I will say he got sexy when he got jacked. Although he was too jacked.
The gay brain rot.
Although he was too jacked.
Well, yeah, obviously.
But he has a really... The thing is...
The
like,
Marvel men are way too jacked. It's because they're...
If he had only like unjacked a little bit, you know...
Because they're on a dose of tea.
It's just too teed, you know?
They're on a...
Okay.
They're injecting...
If John Cho had jacked up for like an MCU film, but not super jacked. Like, just imagine like he got like an extra 10 pounds of just like... nice old muscle in the right places, like deep V cut here, which is so sexy, but like broad, you know, like mwah. And I was like,
wait, I can't wait to see the pictures.
So the pictures don't do him justice, by the way.
Oh,
because and this is why, so I'm like, I was like, yeah, for sure, like let's fucking do this. So I get there. And the perfect timing because he had also just arrived. So I get to and the best part is that as I was getting there, it started raining. So I was like literally running from the train because it just started drizzling. And I was like, I don't have an umbrella. So I'm gonna be camping out fucking until the fucking rain subsides. So just know that's the plan. He was like, LOL, of course. Get there. Opens the door. Let me tell you. Because he sent me like a couple photos. But the photo is like sexy already. But in person... like the sexy bottom also so cute. I was like, okay. I get there and I was like, this is gonna be fun. So he introduces us, which is love an introduction, and we head over to his room and then we start taking our clothes off and then we start like all making out, and it was like very sexy. And it was, you know, like since I've been on this verse journey, I hadn't had a group setting that was not just like a sniffies hookup, wham bam, thank you ma'am kind of thing. So I was like, all right, what's gonna be my dynamic for the first time when me and someone else are topping this guy? So we're having fun and like we're doing all these things. And like I told you last episode, like I'm trying to like check some boxes too. Like I'm trying to fulfill some sexual fantasies right now before I really take some time for myself. So I was like, okay, what have I been wanting to do? Oh yeah, like I want him to like, you know, put both of our dicks in his mouth. Like all these, like I'm like, okay. Like,
Oh my God.
It's just, this is Pioneers and Trailblazers, Nick.
No, I know, but I just like I understand, but like listening to you sometimes when you like talk about like in your like more sort of like dom top sort of thing, it's just like really sort of like
Jarring?
yeah. I'm like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Again,
okay.
it's like my sister's a man,
Sister.
you know.
So my sister's a bad title of that. So oh no, that'll be a bad clickbait for the freaking like Republican pundits, who are just like, oh yeah,
Girl
Your
abuse
sister-
though.
No,
The engagement.
great. Oh my god, we need Marjorie Taylor Greene to watch this stat.
I want to hit her head with a
No,
mallet
please,
so
no,
bad.
Actually, this not. I don't want to get. I don't
I
want
want to hit her on the head with a mallet so bad.
Listen,
I just want to. I like
we don't-
like
we're-
whack-a-mole.
We're not proponents of violence in this podcast.
Someone needs to whack-a-mole her. Sorry.
Okay, anyway, with a soft plushy toy.
No.
No. So we're there, and I was like, okay, so chemistry off the charts. Like the three of us, like we're all making out. The guy's living for it. Like he's like, this is amazing.
The other one is
Also-
he verse 2 or is he bottom or sorry
Just
top?
Let me tell you what happened. So we're like, and by the way,
Were you in the middle?
not for nothing, but like also like our dicks were also like pretty much on the same range. So I also feel like, okay, like we're gonna be, you know, like I said in my head, I was just like, oh, like we're like really matching in all the senses here. So it's gonna be a great physical match. So we start fucking, and like, you know, we're like taking turns on this guy, and the bottom was like everything's great. The AC is running just like my has like an AC like window unit just like mine, but things are getting really hot, and like we're sweating, and we're starting to sweat because we're really into each other, like we're really having a good time. And then at one point, the guy, the John Cho, is like laying on the bed, and he was watching me fuck to the bottom, and then he was like really into it, and then like
What position were y'all in?
so I was so both of them were laying down. So the John Cho lookalike
So
was
missionary?
yes. So I was fucking the bottom, and the John Cho lookalike was next to him, just like jerking off, watching me fucking.
Okay.
And then at one point he's like touching my ass, and so like he's like touching my ass and like, you know, playing with me, and then I look at him, and then I'm like, "Do you want to fuck me next?" And he's like, "Oh yeah." So then I was like, oh, thank God I douched. Thank God I prepared for this moment. So I'm like, wait. So then I get on my back, and so then he starts fucking me. And then the bottom is just like, oh, hell yeah. Like, he's like, oh, this is so
See,
sexy.
if I was that bottom, I'd be like, oh, bitch, what the fuck?
No, because I forgot to mention that previous to that, he had already mentioned a group setting of sorts. And I had said, well, we can flip, or like I can also bottom. Like, so I had also mentioned that I bottom too.
I know, but if I was the bottom hosting, I'd be like, I'm the star. I'm the star.
Well, he was just happy, and the thing is, like, also because the vibes were just right. So then he's fucking me, and then I don't know what came over me, but I was like, because I was really feeling his body, because like it really felt nice, and then like I would just start playing with his butt because he had like a nice ass, and I was like touching him as he's fucking me, and then like I like got to his like whole area.
You're
And
fingering
and
him?
I'm like touching it, you know, because you know some tops like love, you know, to
A
get
finger
like
up the
eaten
butt.
out, and then he's like, oh yeah, oh I like that, oh I love that, and so then I continue, and then I'm like, oh he's liking it, and so like I'm like fingering him, and I'm like wait, I'm like, and then I'm just like, do you want me to fuck you? And he's like, yeah. So then I was like, wait, because I had no idea that he was versed at all. I had no idea that he would even be. So then he gets on his back, and then I start fucking him. And let me tell you,
Oh my
it
God.
was so sexy, Nick. And what
Future husband?
What just future like sex buddies, you know?
Future sex
But
husband.
what I'm saying is, like, what made this so sexy was that, like, I had no idea. I unlocked this, like, part of my brain of, like, I was going from like dominant to submissive to back to dominant.
Mama, that's called being a switch.
And something about that was so sexy to me. And here's the catch. What was sexier to me was seeing him go from like dominant to submissive. I was like, when I was fucking him, because his whole demeanor changed the entire time from when I came up that stair freaking case. From when I saw him, and he was like, and he had like a deep voice too. So I knew he was the top. I knew him when from his eyes. It's almost like his eyes changed into different set of eyes, and then they became puppy eyes, and then he became just like this, and I was just like, what is going on?
My sister. For those, this is mostly we've talked about. I mean, we talked about on the regular pod, but also on the Patreon. But we've had like so many discussions of.
On the Patreon, we've had pretty extensive discussions
about how Peru is like, well, I don't know if I want to keep topping because like I want to be with a dom top man. But I think it's just so interesting now, to have full circle. Where like we're talking and discussing, how you're able to switch back and forth, and you find that hot and sexy in a man. Before, when you were like, well,
in bed. Underlying in sex, out in the world, so in the context of like going to dinner, to the movies, or being in the park, I still like being more submissive than dominant.
I know, but that's different. That's like romantically
sure.
submissive. But I think a lot of the conversations that we had was you being like, oh, well, I think I'm going to quit topping soon because like I just can't imagine myself with.
And you can listen to this if you want to get on that tier, and we'll talk about that at the end of the episode. But long story short, I'm saying is like I just want to take some time off in general to assess what I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm. But how beautiful that we are learning new things about ourselves.
Let me tell you, it was, and I don't mean to brag because we don't really get on here to brag. We just come here to talk about our sex lives. We're not here being like, and this is why I'm meh. I never come on here trying to brag about any sex experience, but for this one, Mama, let me tell you, had there been a camera in that room, I hate to say, but what we did in that room, sweat included, and just like all of our dynamics,
wall stink.
to the window, to the wall, to the sweat drop down my ball, literally, Lil John. Actually, title of app, from the window to the wall to the sweat drop down my balls. That is literally the title of the app because it was so sexy. Like, y'all just wish you could see it. So, we finished, and it was almost like a movie. It was almost like a French indie erotic film because when we finished, suddenly the skies opened up. Literally, Nick. The rain stopped, sun came out. We're like drenched in sweat. I had to, and I never rinse at the gig. I never like use any, I would just like dip. Oh, we both rinsed. We each got a towel. Like, he was such a great host. We were like making out, just chatting in bed. And so then we finished, and then the guy owns a restaurant in the area. He lives in Brooklyn. The John Cho lookalike owns a restaurant in the area, which is what
rich.
I was like, okay. But I didn't want to ask him which restaurant, but I was like, oh, okay, because I want to go camp out somewhere for a little bit.
Or like fuck me at the restaurant.
Yeah. So then we both walk out. We say bye to the host, and he was really sweet, but I had already known that the host had other. So I leave, and then we talk on Grindr again, and I was like, that was really sexy. And then the host goes, the bottom goes, well, that other guy still gonna be coming around 3:30 if you want to come back.
Oh, are you not tired? Are you not like, girl?
I'm just a horny person.
Girl, like me too to some degree, but like, oh my God, after one, I'm like, I'm done. Like, the only time I do multiple is if we took a nap in bed together, and then it's like, let's do round two, and there's like good sexual chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
But like, happy for you. I'm just like, damn, I couldn't.
Okay. So, cut to 3:30-ish. This is when the monsoon started to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You remember where you were when this happened?
I didn't see it because I was downstairs.
You were downstairs. Monsoon is happening, and I'm like, fuck. So I knew already, because I already got the original picture from the guy. Now, who would play him? I'm not going to need to tell you. Because, okay, so he tells me, he's like, hey, actually, I might have like 2 to 3 more tops coming over. And I was like, oh.
Is this bottom not
so then
tired?
So then I said, I think this was his plan. Like, I think he was going to take the holiday to just like get loads,
Right.
Which is
Happy,
happy, listen,
happy
happy for him. Happy
Juneteenth.
Juneteenth. Happy Pride Month.
Happy Juneteenth, mama.
So then I'm like, oh, and then at this point I was like, okay, well, considering our surprise flip situation from earlier, in which like even he topped him up. At one point we did the which is also one of my sexual fantasies. Like he was fucking me while I was fucking the bottom, and then all a train, so all vice
The
versa.
human centipede.
And it is much harder than it looks on camera, which is I will say. So it's not the easy, especially when like, you're trying to stay hard and whatever. So anyway, so I found that checked off my list. I did it in all the scenarios, like being the bottom, being the middle. I was being sandwiched, and then I was being the main. I did it all. So, went back and forth. I'm not dying to do it again, to be honest. It was a little bit too laborious. I was like, might as well be getting paid for this, to be honest. Like, someone record this, because it's taking too much work to make this happen, It's not even that gratifying for me. Anyway, so he's like, oh. And then he goes, oh, wait, one actually can come until later, but there's going to be 2 more tops plus you. And I was like, well, to be honest, like, I was really kind of horned up from like flipping on the other one. So like I would be down to like kind of just be another bottom for this one. And he's like, oh, I'm sure they would love for you to bottom. For this one, he didn't share the photos because it happened really quickly in which I was like, hey, I'm literally going to run over now because it was pouring rain. So I don't want to just get caught up just waiting. I need to get to your place because I don't want to get drenched. And in that run, he was like, oh, I'm sure they're going to love having you bottom. I was like, great, perfect. Get in there again. Back again. Enter. He opens the door. He's like, welcome back. And like we kiss. And then he leads me to his room. And he's like, Peru. Oh.
What do you... Why are you stuffing your mouth?
Oh, no, because...
That's your name.
I know. I was going to say the other name, which is the other name that I use on my Grindr encounters. I don't use Peru. I use... If you've seen White Savior, I use that name.
You do?
Yeah. And it's almost...
Is this recently?
No, I've always done it. Raphael is my name to use if I don't like any person or whatever, and it's my fake name for people not being able to find me, But the other name is a name that I use. It's kind of like an alter ego sexually. I don't... Unless I think I'm going to be friends with you or connect with you on Instagram or something, I don't use Peru.
Oh, interesting.
It's like it's almost like Sasha Fierce for Beyonce. Like it's like a different when I'm having sex or when I'm in a sexual encounter. Like I kind of really am a different person, a different version of myself. I'm not, Do you want another drink? Do you want some ice?
Well, hold on.
Should we
Keep
put a
telling.
pause?
Well, no. Keep talking. I'm good.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm
No,
fine.
no.
No, because I have there's like stuff in my cup.
I
so-
can clean it. Here,
Well, I'm
editing this. Let's take a break.
Okay,
We'll be right back.
Oh, there's like I don't know what that is. There's like 3 little like things floating in there.
It might just be from.
Yeah, you better.
Okay, we're back. Okay. Cheers, by the way. Cheers. Happy season 2 finale. We love you all.
Yes.
Okay. So he's like, hey, Peru. This is... You know that guy from a couple episodes that I told you is going to that sex party that I'm going to? That follows you and you follow him?
You fucked him? He fucked you?
So he was there.
Did he fuck you?
I'm going to tell you the story.
The dick is good.
So he was there. And I was like, oh. Because literally, I had just messaged him on Instagram because we're getting reminders the sex party's coming up this week.
Mm-hmm.
And so everyone's just posting like, oh, I cannot wait to like load you up or take your load. Everyone's
He's hot.
So he was there because I had just slid in his DMs just being like, hey, if you want like a little preview, happy. And we followed each other by the universe being the universe universing. I'm like, oh. And then not only him, the other one, remember, this is full circle. Remember that other guy at one of my, the common dumps that I went like 3-4 weeks, episodes ago, whatever, that spotted me at the gig and then tried to fuck me at the cum dump? Could I recognize me, remember when I stepped in?
Was this the one that was at the hotel?
Not the hotel, the one like in my neighborhood. Remember when I said, when I was talking about like there were like 2 guys, one was letting his friend out, but he was also bottoming, and then he saw me and he was trying to fuck me there, and I was like, no, like we can't.
Oh, yeah,
He
yeah.
recognized me. He was like, oh my god, hey, like you're here. He was there, and I was like, oh my god. And of course, as soon as I see them, like I was like, too shocked. So I was like, oh hey, Blake, and
Oh,
and
now you outing his name.
well, I'm gonna add. I said blank.
Oh, I thought you said Blake.
No, I said blank.
I was like,
will,
I guess we're doxing.
No, there will be a dox here in a second, for a reason, because I'm like, oh, hey, and then the bottom's like, oh, you got. I was like, because I was being like, of course it's you, of course, and then the bottom was like, oh, is this okay? And I was like, oh no, this is all good. It's just like I actually, like we. And then the guy was like, yeah, I've given him a few loads before. And I was like, yeah, of course. And then the other guy was like, hey.
My man.
You're man. Okay. Once again, just vibes were just so right. This time I was also one of the bottoms 90% of the time. Because, let me tell you, Nick, your man's fucking me. The
Was it
other guy's
good?
It was good.
Yeah, the dick's good.
It was good. Everything was good. Everyone, like, they're taking turns on both of us. Like, we're like making out. They're like fucking. They're making out. Like, it was just the day yesterday of as far as chemistry goes. It was mwah, 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 chef's kiss. Like, everyone's vibing each other. We're all again sweating. Monsoon happening outside. Music was playing in the background. It was just It was just the best. The best. Top tier of this year for sure. Yesterday. Top 5 sex experiences I've had all year, maybe all 2020s. It was just
Wow.
and at one point, like we're all fucking, and at one point, like the bottom, like the guys are just like, hey, like the bottom was just like, oh, like he took one load. And then he was like, do you want to fuck him too? And I was like, yeah, of course. So then like we all took turns on him. And the bottom was just like living. He's like, yes. And I was just like, yes, I know how that feels, girl. Like, get it. Like I'm supporting my bottom sister. And so like we're all. And then so I came. And then
You gave a load.
you gave a load. But then we were fucking for such a long time. Then I went again. Like, we were just all just, like, we would take breaks and, like, lay down and then, like, all just get horned up. Then one of his neighbors came by for a quick load and then he left. And then we all just kept fucking. But it was, like, the vibes were just right. Nothing felt overtly, like, seedy, if I may use that word, because some of these like feel kind of seedy, in which I think that's part of the vibe, like just like nasty, slutty, cum whory, like that kind of thing. This just felt like gay man just being sexual and gay and just like love to have sex.
Did my man talk about me?
So
Did he bring me up?
no.
But he's dead to me.
But then we're all talking, right? So we're all finally finished. It was like an hour at this point. Done. We're all just laying down, and I was like, at this point, I need to start getting my shit together. Like, I need to change. I had to get Clover, and I was like, all right, y'all, I'm gonna start heading out. So I'm changing, and then we're talking about X, Y, and Z. Like, how do we know each other, or how do they know each other? We're all just talking about things that we're doing.
And you were like, you
And
like my
then-
friend.
And then, I don't know how we got to this part, but then the other one that I said, not your man, but the other top that I know from the cum dump, who has fucked me before.
The one that I know from the cum dump.
We're talking, and I had said something, someone had said something about someone that we know. And then he turns to me in context to what was just said. And then he turns, and he goes like, yeah, so Peru uses Peru.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes, so Peru, I guess you could say he's a friend of the pod. And I was like,
Gag it.
nobody got it. But I was like,
Oh, I'm sure my man got it because he follows on Instagram.
I was like,
and he follows you too.
I was like, oh, friend of the pod. And I literally just like started laughing, and I was like, oh, and I was putting on my underwear, and I was like, oh, Miss Thing is a townsperson. I'm sure enough of a townsperson to know friend of the pod.
Wait, that's crazy. Shout out.
So should I say his name?
No.
Okay. Well,
But shout out to that person.
You know who you are, Miss G. So Miss G, friend of the pod.
But are you a Nictum or a Perude is the most important question.
He's a prude. Because,
That's bold of you to assume.
well, based on my thirst trap I posted today and the reaction I got from that photo, Miss Thing is
Well,
a
you
prude.
should have shown me the Instagram.
So, it was very much a full circle moment for me yesterday, just as far as everything that I've been up to this season.
Well, I'm happy for my sister. I'm glad that you had that beautiful, gorgeous experience during Pride. And
But also getting clocked.
girl, get clocked.
Clocking your man, then getting clocked myself at the gig.
I need to have good sex.
But see, this is the thing. It's just like eventually, I feel like we're like at such a moment with pioneers and trailblazers that like we can still savor so much. Like, you know, we're never gonna be at, you know, Las Culturistas Michelle Obama guest such levels, because that's not who we are and it's not what this is about. But
imagine Michelle's in our DMs
imagine
next
it's
week.
like, wait, I want to come on to talk about
Hey,
prep and doxy
I need
pep
to
and
promote. I need to promote.
so, you know, safe sex habits.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what I mean?
Make
It's just,
America
like,
sexy again.
make America sexy again. But like we're still at this point in which like we can have a lot of these experiences without feeling doxed or getting doxed or like having people kind of just like, I guess, recognize us more in those settings. And so I'm really thankful for that, but also knowing in the back of my head that like a lot
That's
of
not
these
gonna last.
experiences are like have a timestamp on them, you know? Like they have an
Mhm.
expiration date. And so to anyone listening who's been with us in this journey for like 2 years plus, like so thankful, honestly, true tea. It's such a blessing to have this community, to be able to tell these stories, entertain everybody
Mm-hmm.
in this kind of level. And like I've said this plenty of times, but like when years will go by and we're having our own thriving careers and people will revisit this specific moment in our careers and part of our lives, it's really special. So I just want everyone to know who's listening or watching that you're a part of something that's really special and unique.
And you're on the ground floor.
yeah, so
Before
you know.
everything sort of like becomes like movie star level and we won't talk to y'all.
But trust and believe will remember.
Oh, well, always.
And this community will always be here, and it will always be the community it is and it was and whatever.
Until Peru's getting canceled and we have to take down every single video. So there's no video evidence of it.
And listen, down the road, if you feel like you can't find the videos anywhere, just know that they were unlisted for a reason.
There's a potential cancellation happening.
So we had to unlist everything, but listen, there's always going to be the full library available, you know, via links. But
Do you have a pioneer?
well, I have like my serious pioneer and like my jokey pioneer. My serious pioneer is definitely, just like last season, it's gonna be all the townspeople, all the trust and believers, all of the town council members. I love you all, especially all my Perudes. Shout out to my Perudes.
Shout out.
Love you all, mean it. But Carol G's Tropico Queta album, the album of the summer. If you want to know what Miss Peru is going to be listening to this summer, I already
Which
listened
song
to
specifically, sister?
Oh, sister. You'll hear. I've already been going to be posting all the ones I want. Papacito is so good. There's a song she did in fucking Portuguese. Oh, there's so many good hits. I already listened to the full album, top to bottom, to verse, twice, 3 times today already. And Cat's Eyes. Hands up, Gabriela. I love Gabriela. I'm gonna shout out to Cat's Eye. Gonna be listening to those 2 pieces of musical work nonstop.
My trailblazer for the week is going to be the townsperson who called me out last week. Listening and learning.
Yes, your white is showing.
We're listening and learning. Did we not see the questions that I was asking
Yeah.
in this episode? Thank you.
Escuchando y aprendiendo.
And then also Callan Lord. Shout out to Callan Lord. I feel like I got my bill. Oh my God. And also shout out to my health insurance because remember that bill that I got billed for $300.
That bill that you got billed for?
I got rebilled it today, and I was so nervous when I got the email and I clicked the link and I go, oh my God, how much is it gonna be? $30.
Bless.
I literally stopped in the middle of the street and I was like, God is good.
God is good. Oh my God, I think God is good to somebody at work, jokingly. But I think
They thought it was real.
They thought it was real,
See,
and I was like, no,
See,
no.
and that's like the problem because sometimes I say that to people and I'm like, I'll say like, oh, God is so
But
good.
the thing is like the way we say it too, because when I'm walking around now, I'm doing it. I'm like, God's good. Like, you know, I'm being extra about
well, no,
it.
and it's like, and I think it's because like I say it so much because growing up in like the Catholic Church and just like I had so many like white women who would like someone would say something and be like, oh, God, it is so good. Like, and it would be like someone is at their rock bottom and they're like, oh my God, so like someone was nice to me today in line.
Yeah,
and
lost
like,
my legs, have the money, I'm depressed.
and then they're like, but guess what? I got like a Dunkin' deal when I went and got my coffee today. And then they'd be like, God is so good. God is so good. He's everywhere.
And listen, no shade. We have some religious townspeople,
No, we do.
which listen,
We do, but
God is good.
But I think it's so funny because it's just like it's so performative. It's so like it's just so like, oh, let's celebrate, like, you know, let's celebrate little things, you know, or like it's so like, well, let's celebrate that, you know. But it's like, but I love saying it, and like I say it at work all the time, and like some of the younger girlies who I work with, sometimes like when I say it, I do get like little looks or whatever. They're like, oh. and they're like,
they were like,
God.
They were like, I didn't think of you as the Jesus freak.
And I'm like, I'm sorry, what do you mean God gave me everything that I have? That's why I am who I am, girl. Aren't we so blessed?
Aren't we so blessed
to live in Trump's America? God is so good.
Oh my God, God is so good. But listen, this is the end of the season.
Shout out.
Do you want? I'm gonna be listening to Carol G. I'm gonna be going to P-Town this summer. There's a slight chance I might be going to Houston to see family, but just working. I'm gonna be working on myself and
Yes.
I feel like I really want to zero in on matching my sexual needs with my romantic needs and seeing how those coincide, or how I can. I don't know. I think I'm really gonna take the summer to search for that. But what do you have to look forward to in the summer? What are your goals for the summer?
The summer I'm gonna take a break. Just gonna relax.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna sew a lot because I've been having the itch to like do stuff with my hands, and I've done a little bit, but I have been so busy that I haven't had the time. So I'm excited to be able to do that more, and I'm gonna visit family in August, which will be fun, and I'm just gonna take it easy. I'm just like excited to just not. I think I'm excited to just rest. I think that's the thing. It's like I had a bunch of stuff planned for like the summer and like maybe hiatus, and then sort of like one by one they all sort of like fell through, and I was like so disappointed in the very beginning of June, being like, oh, this fucking sucks. But I think now that I'm like we're entering the summer, I'm like, you know what? Clearly I'm meant to take a break. I'm meant to chill. I'm meant to like vibe. And I would love to have more sex. I would love to like go on dates and stuff, but I have gotten.
Oh, Clover wants you to have more sex.
Thank you.
Too.
Manifest for me, diva. I at work, people were like, I was talking to some friends and stuff, and I was like, oh my God, I was telling them about, you know, deal trade and how I got essentially dumped last week, and they're all like, oh my God, girl, like we're gonna manifest for you, and I was like, thank. I'm like wiping away tears. I'm like, thank you so much. Thank you. Anything I need it. So yeah, but I'm like, I'm on the apps, but I haven't gotten. The only matches that I get are on Tinder. And the opening lines are always like, I want to play with that ass. And it's like, okay, like, thank you. Love that. Love the energy. But that's not really what I need. Like, I would love to, you know, be mentally stimulated just like a little bit.
Yeah, same. I want to be romantically stimulated.
Yes,
that's my goal.
Like, I literally just want to have like a beautiful romantic summer fling with a man who's like absolutely obsessed with me, loves the puss, is going to dick me down like no other, wants to hang out with me, take me out for drinks and dinner.
Mm-hmm.
We go see movies together. We smoke joints together. We hang out in my apartment.
Oh my God. I hate to break it to you, sister, but last night after my sex marathon, I needed to do like a little treat me moment, just me, myself, and I. I went to go see the Materialists. But guess what?
Oh,
guess what?
Okay, and
no,
so that we're done.
No. Guess what? But guess what? Here's the good news. It was. I loved it so much. I will go see it again. So Anora style. I will go see it with you, with my sister. We will go see it together, and it'll be my second time
I
seeing
was
it.
waiting to go see this with your daddy. I literally did. People were trying to make plans with me to see The Materialist, and I canceled on them and said, no, I already have plans. Wow.
I will go. I
So
will
what happened
go.
to sisterhood?
I will go.
What happened to
Oh,
See,
Clover's-
she's so
Clover's
mad.
gonna- he's gonna come fucking beat
Thank
me
you.
up. I gotta
Oh!
already did because Clover already scratched me this morning. I have a Band-Aid on my knee because of you.
Get her.
Get her. So that's what we're gonna be doing this summer. We're gonna miss you all. However,
And we're gonna be sweating our pussies off
so here, put this up.
because it's literally gonna be 100 degrees next
Yes,
week.
it's gonna be fucking hot. But listen, happy Pride. We
Pride.
love you all. Enjoy Pride. Be safe. Protest. Be you. Love yourself. Have
Fuck
sex.
ice.
Fuck ice. Be safe. Doxypep. Prep. Be careful. You know,
Cover your drinks.
cover
Make sure
your-
you always never set a drink down and like leave it unattended.
Listen. Fuck the system. We're gonna be here.
CIS. Dumb. Fuck that system,
Yeah.
Bama.
Yeah. And if you feel like it's gonna be too long of a summer without us rotted people infiltrating your ear holes,
Hit that
or your
link in the
visual.
description for the Patreon.
Hit that link.
Ah!
We're gonna be continuing weekly episodes, which we call the Town Council Assemblies for Trust and Believers and Town Council members. If you want to become one of those, come over. If you're in a budget, we understand. But if you care to spend a little bit extra, iced tea, coffee, or beer money for us on a monthly basis, it's go on your desktop. If you want to avoid those outrageous Apple fees, if you do it through your phone, because they're like charging like an additional like 25% or whatever. But go on your desktop, sign up. It's just $4 extra a month for you to listen to our weekly episodes if you don't want to miss out on our summer shenanigans.
I just realized that you put a metal ice cube in here. I didn't know you had those.
Yeah, because I ran out of real ice, but those last.
Period.
But anyway, and then if you want to be a Trust and Believer, it's $7 a month. And then for that, we're going to be releasing bonus episodes. We release vlogs, just content from our real, regular lives, just us being mostly drunk a lot of the times. Usually. But just being silly, girly, pop divas there. So revisit our episodes, please. Leave a review, comment. Don't let the algorithm just think we've completely gone MIA on here. Go back to an episode you like, leave a comment, share it with your friends. Go on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. If you're an Apple podcaster, leave a review. Subscribe on YouTube.
You can follow Peru at HeyPeru everywhere. You can follow me at Nicholas.Rose on Instagram, ClownFaceBinch on TikTok, and ClownFaceBitch on Twitter.
Oh my God. I love you.
I love
you,
you
sister.
too.
And we love you all. And we'll see you next season.
Hags!
Ah.
Have a great summer.
Hags!